I forgot to go get my coffee.
Well, you can tell everybody. Yeah,
I want to know it stops so it doesn't burn.
Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Yes, I am, yes, I am, yes, I am. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. I believe every lie that I ever told. Every heart that I ever stole.
I feel like I should have started that man. Missed it. Yeah, I totally missed the mark. I thought I was going to keep going.
Somewhere I heard that.
Now it feels so not right.
God made five more different from the rest. Then he wrote 10 more, so I know I'm blessed. Stand up now.
All right, what's up? I blew that one. Good song though. It is May 20th. It is what Jordan, who does the music, he's got this as like swagger week, Jake, like confidence week.
Oh wow!
Songs that make you walk with a little extra swagger, I guess.
Stand up straight.
Yeah, there you go. You got it.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's 1 for 1 for me. This is a good song.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is one of our in one of our OG group chats. This song was super popular for a while. Just because one of our friends would intentionally mess up the lyrics. Instead of saying, oh, well, he'd said, oh, whale.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That's one of my favorite old group chat drops.
Oh, yeah. With the music symbols and everything. And it's
all caps. Oh, well, you can tell everybody.
Yeah, that Aloe Black hit it quick. He had a couple joints out there.
Yeah, that's not even my favorite Aloe Black song.
Right?
Favorite Aloe Black.
Okay.
Go.
Your favorite Aloe Black song is what I was saying.
Yeah, Go. That's what I realized.
Yeah, it's Go. The song Go by the Go Go Go's by Aloe Black.
Go, 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 go. No, it's I Need a Dollar from that old HBO show.
I need money. Dollar, that's all I need. Hey. Yeah, and I think it's ironical.
This is a good song. It used to be the intro for that How to Make It in America on HBO.
Yeah.
I need a dollar, that's what I need.
Hey.
Dollar, that's what I need.
Well, you said this is your favorite as well?
No, I think he had another one that was pretty popular too. I'm blanking on the name of it. I'm not rating my Aloe Black. I like what he puts out. I think he's the classic. Like 20 years from now, there'll be like, whoa, Aloe Black is playing at Toads in New Haven, and your kids would be like, who's Aloe Black? I've never heard of that guy, and we'd be like, he's really talented, okay? Like, I feel like my mom does that with musicians, and someone like Aloe Black is exactly who I do that to. I'd be like, yeah, I mean, I don't listen to his tunes, but I'm always going to remember, like, those songs ripped. And he's, like, talented in them. He's, like, singing. It's not just, like, they're poppy.
Yeah.
I guess that second one, the one you like, has a little poppy element to it.
Well, so does The Man.
The Man. But, yeah.
It says his next most biggest song, according to plays on Spotify, is Carry You Home. Is that the next one you like?
Maybe. I'm not a words guy. But I think it's funny that we opened with this when Nick Proach's bachelor party. Saying that for 5 minutes. Okay, there it is. Everybody knows.
That's what you've been trying to get out?
Yeah. Yes, because he's the one that started that joke in the group chat.
Oh, I thought that was Matt.
No, that's a day one Proacher. But yeah, we'll be in Austin for part of this week's JJR, and Jordan tied it together without even knowing.
I won't, but you will.
You fly down Friday. People could be listening then, right?
Yeah, but we're going to record on Thursday.
Yeah. But
you're going to have a travel week coming up.
They could be listening then. Yeah, a little bit. I go down to Dallas Wednesday. Staying with my old roommate down there. Visit / a lot cheaper flight because it was Memorial Day, and then. But yeah, gonna be a fun little Memorial Day weekend. That's what this
Memorial
week's
Day.
building towards.
Yeah. Summer. It's getting too hot for me already.
Nice.
It's just too hot. I got to put the air conditioners in. That's got to be something I got to do. But like sleeping last night sucked. Woke up sweaty. I hate that.
No, it's that time.
Yeah. So I need the ACs in there. No blankets and sweaty.
You got the AC units?
Yeah, I think we put them in storage. I just need to put them in. But I think we might be the units that we had in this house last summer were basically like airplane engines.
Right.
Loudest thing in the world.
Right.
Like disturbingly loud when you were sleeping because they would reboot in the middle. So I need to go find those and then get rid of the bad ones and get new good ones that are quieter. Yeah. Watching Sports Center or whatever this Greenberg show is for the first time.
Oh.
Where,
what is that? Not First Take. That's
Get Up.
Yeah. Get Up. Yeah.
Is the old basketball coach on part of this panel?
They mix it up. They have guests set up. The old basketball coach.
Thibodeau is who I think he looks like, but I have no idea.
Yeah, he could be there. They let him talk sports sometimes. Tommy Tibbs.
They got him at a sideways. Yeah, it is him. They got him at.
He's got a bad look.
They got him at a sideways angle, and he's a front on only guy.
Yeah.
So where they got Richard Jefferson front on, and he's an any angle he looks good guy. So they're playing. Right. They're doing Tibbs real dirty with this.
Yeah, Tibbs is thicker than you think. His face has some different angles, and the hair is pretty brutal.
Yeah, he looks like an 80-year-old. Like he has the ears, the hairline, and the jowls of like an 80-year-old. But then when you get front on, he looks like a normal 50-something-year-old.
Front on, pretty normal. The side, he's got like a real size like penguin from Batman.
Yes, yeah.
Which is rude, but honest.
So they're doing him dirty on this show. And I was listening to it for a little bit, and I was like, "Geez,
yeah,
do we sound like that? I don't know, maybe." And then the Sports Center call I already tweeted about. It was so weird.
Yeah, so
weird. All right, how was your weekend, Jake? Overall,
my weekend, James. Oh, it was good. It was really quiet. I was getting made fun of by a couple people I talked to this weekend because I was like, oh, yeah, I'm taking it easy this weekend. Got a big weekend coming up. And they're like, oh, you're at that point of your life? I was like, yeah, like, absolutely. So really didn't do much. Spent a lot of time with the girl and the dog. Watched some Yankees baseball. And then yeah, I mean, Sunday's pretty much a work day for me. I don't think Friday did do anything on Friday. I don't think so. No. Yeah, didn't really leave the perimeter of the complex. But that was also kind of the goal. So, I don't know. Going back to Friday, my word. Yankees walk-off. That was really exciting.
Going back to Friday on Monday is the hardest thing it's the hardest thing I have to do on a regular basis in my life right now.
No, it's nuts. It's because the majority of people spend the first half of Friday to try to get through that part of Friday because you get to the best part. You get to basically the second best day of the week, Friday afternoon. And then by the time you've lived Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're like, I don't know, Friday?
Yeah.
Just trying to get through that to get to that. Tattoo that on your skin. But
oh, fuck. Shit.
Oh, a couple cusses. What's going on?
I just looked at the results of the bet of the day from Friday. I'm so mad I agreed with you.
Yeah. Well, we'll get there. Oh yeah, pissed off the gods on that one, and that's fine.
All right, what's your number for Friday?
Urshela walk off, good time. Sold a couple Urshela shirts. That was cool. 6.5.
Nice. Worse than your Thursday when you got to go to the play.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm at a 7.1 on Friday.
Ooh.
Urshela, good Friday. It was nice out. I think I cooked some food. I grilled maybe. I forget what I did, but I know I had a good time. And then the walk-off. I mean, the walk-off, CeCe Yellen, it's like a content dream, that game.
You got to be careful with those Friday ones. You're going to say, oh, I'm confident I had a good time Friday, and then you're going to remember like, oh, a cat cornered me in the alley and took my wallet.
No, because I got bikes, so I started riding my bike around town.
Right.
That was like a nice feeling. It's all good. I had a good week last week. 3 7s in a row.
Big week.
You haven't had a 7 in a month, man.
Summertime's coming.
Wow. You haven't had a 7 in a long time. I feel bad for you.
Yeah, should. Should see what I look at all day.
Me?
Yeah.
That was a joke about how you have to look at me and it makes your days bad.
No. It's right past my computer. There's a flower pot. I hate it.
Gross. Just got a whiff of Zim. Not good.
They poop? Fart.
No. It was a breath. It's breath.
Ah.
How weird are you? Can just like the brain throws me for a loop all the time.
Okay, let's deep dive on that. Joe Rogan style.
It's got like a whiff of brain, a whiff of a whiff of scent, and immediately I can know if it was like my dog's fart, shit, breath, or skin. Like he emits 4 different smells, and it takes less than a quarter of a second for my brain to process it and understand it.
You've got some smells too.
Sure. Not right now.
I mean, breath is right near your nose. Body odor, you know that smell. Fart.
It's more the brain being able to process things so fast than a shot at Zim.
Oh, I wasn't saying a shot at Zim. I'm giving your brain kudos. Your brain's smelling you all day. You know Zim smells.
No, I got to go get him food. We have to get him this really expensive food, otherwise he shits and throws up everywhere, and it's really expensive. But whatever.
That's what I used to tell my old company when I was getting dinners on the road. Got to get these good dinners.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll just shit myself.
I worked as a PA, production assistant for this camera crew that was got hired by Verizon to take films of San Francisco for the Super Bowl when I was in San Francisco. So it was like a producer, which was my buddy, a cameraman, which is like a freelance camera guy, a freelance boom mic, and then me, the assistant. And the 4 of us for 4 days just walked around San Francisco filming ancillary shit, just like the sun setting or
B-roll.
B-roll. Yeah, we were filming B-roll. That's what we were doing. We've been getting paid crazy money. My only job for the 10-hour days was to get lunch for people. My only job, Jake, for lunch for the other 3 people. And my buddy was the like producer, and I that was like day 5. There's not a lot of place left. We'd been every place, and I offered. Right. I was like, "Let's get this sandwich place," and he was like, "Oh no, don't do that." I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Because this lunch is being paid for by the company, so you have to find somewhere expensive. Otherwise, our crew's gonna hate you." Yeah, and I was like, "Okay, that's crazy." I mean, it makes sense. But sandwiches are better than everything we went and got. I would have rather a sandwich.
Right. You didn't get the vote though. You're just the lunch getter.
No, it was.
You should have lied. You should have said like, "Yo, it's this gourmet sandwich place. You'll never have something like this." And they'll be like, "Oh yeah, these are pretty good."
Yeah, should.
What is that? A vinaigrette?
So. That was a weird experience because you see how much money. I don't think any of the shots we filmed got used, and I was the lowest man on the totem pole. I got paid $300 a day. like crazy money at Verizon spent. And we were one of 4 crews getting B-roll, Jake.
Don't tell Verizon.
You know who I got to hang out with that weekend?
I remember this now vaguely that you got to see some celebrities. You see, it wasn't like JJ Watt. It was
JJ Watt. Yeah, JJ
Nice.
Watt, Nick Mangold.
Right.
We filmed him eating cheese.
Mm.
Some actress that's super pretty that I forget who.
I remember that.
And then this girl that people would know from the challenge. She's kind of trashy on the challenge.
Okay.
I wish I could say her name right now. She was working for Verizon just as like a part-time worker, and I was like, I know who you are, but I couldn't place it. She's a huge thigh tattoo. I couldn't think it. And then a bunch of YouTubers that people would know roll through. So that was kind of cool.
You're lining up to be on the other side of that fence.
Yeah, right? No. Oh, a YouTuber thing? Not really. But that was a cool weekend. Got paid a lot of money to do nothing. Literally nothing.
Got lunches, dude. It's huge.
That's for 10 hours.
Those people would have starved.
Oh, and want to know another stupid story from this time? My cameraman, whose also name was Jimmy, which was crazy because there's a 4-man crew and 2 of us are Jimmy. He asked me to go get him like a coffee with light sugar. So that's such a up in the air order. So I tell
that means a lot of different things to a lot of different people.
Yeah, so I tell the coffee people, and I'm like, I fucking hope they do the light sugar part. So they didn't. So I had to put the sugar in.
Ooh.
So I'm guessing like I drink my coffee black. So I've never dabbled with sugars or cream. Like I don't know the normal amount. I don't know what light or heavy is. So I put what for me would be light sugar. So he took a sip and was like, "Did they even put any sugar in this?" And I was like, "I don't know. They were pretty weird there."
Yeah, you should have seen these guys. Like a bunch of sugar Nazis. I was yelling at them.
Oh yeah.
I
was like, "More sugar, dicks." They're like, "Oh, we can't."
Hey, we love sugar in our coffee, so put more in there.
But I was such a tough spot for me. I was like, I don't know what the amount of sugar that you consider light is.
And that's when I initially got into the coffee game, I basically had dessert coffees. And yeah, I mean, if someone told me that now, I probably wouldn't even get it. I just pretend to forget and be like, "Oh, dude, totally forgot." So instead of insulting their sugar usage, I would just straight forget their coffee.
There you go. That was my one job. And that cameraman, Jimmy, he also the day before his job before the Verizon Super Bowl was a millionaire paid him to film a music video of their like 13-year-old, just like the Friday, that type of nonsense. And he said it was awful. It was like
it's an investment.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what I did. I'm trying to find out if I can find this girl's name, but I can't. And I don't think anyone cares.
Maria.
No, she's from Boston. Real gross accent, thigh tattoo. She thought she was very cool. All right, let's move on to.
Nice.
Yeah, she was kind of annoying. Let's move on to the Tri-State News. The Yankees took 2 of 3 from the Rays, 2 extra inning games, and 1 laugher. Good job, the Yankees. The Mets got swept by the Marlins. The Marlins hadn't won 3 games in a row all season. And they swept the Mets, and Mickey Callaway's job seems to be very much on the line. And Robinson Cano, I think, is public enemy number 1 or 2. I don't know, but DeGrom had a bad start, just a bad weekend. Taco Fall is working out for the Knicks, Jake. They're excited. They're really hoping he slips to the 55th pick. And his workout was scheduled for today, but it got postponed due to travel issues. The next Manning has started his prep to replace Daniel Jones in 2030. His name is Arch, after his grandpop. Arch Manning made his varsity debut as a freshman. He threw 3 touchdowns in the game. Fordham and Monmouth were both eliminated from the NCAA tournament, recording 0 wins against 0 teams. Against 4 teams.
Is that the Monmouth Mammoth sneaking in there?
Yeah, got me. They threw me for a loop there.
It's a classic joke I used to do when people told me they were applying to Monmouth. Go, oh, the Mammoths, nice. And they'd be like, they're not that. And I go, well, no, it's the Monmouth Mammoths. Don't be dumb.
They should be that.
Yeah. It's the biggest no-brainer. It's the biggest mascot miss of all colleges. I'll send a hot take this early.
Wow, the biggest mascot miss of all colleges. Good for you, Jake. The ability for you to be able to just come out and say that, I'm really happy for you.
Thanks, Jim. What do you like here? I know you're jonesing to talk about the Mets because that's been a burden on you.
It's just crazy to me. The Marlins not winning 3 in a row. That's funny on the Marlins side of things. Like,
yeah,
they're so bad they won 3 games in a row, and now the other team has to fire their manager.
I wonder, Jimmy, maybe that was part of it. Maybe they were so fed up with Callaway that they were like, yo, Marlins, we're going to let you guys have these because you guys suck so bad that they have to fire him, right?
Yeah. I think if Brody is confident in his team and himself, he has to fire Mickey Callaway. And if he lets Mickey stay, I think he's a little nervous it's his fault.
Ooh, interesting.
Is that a hot take?
I don't know. I think what's interesting because all right, so the Mets has Callaway. What's Callaway's biggest fault so far?
The team is uninterested in playing games.
Right. So it's been like the Cano not running stuff out. Was there another one of those? Did someone else not run something out or?
It's been Cano. There was a double play, same like Brett Gardner did earlier this year. But I think Jake, they didn't score any runs versus the Marlins.
Right.
Like they just look lackluster altogether.
Yeah, I guess that's just what's kind of weird for me because it's this Met reputation or whatever, and I don't know. Like every team is going to have bad series. The Yankees lost 2 out of 3 to the White Sox, and now we've won 9 out of 10 series in a row. So I don't know. I know the Marlins are bad. The thing that's just bizarre to me is, it's still early. Like you've been mentioning, their pitchers haven't been as great as they can be. I know the Mets have had these pitchers for a few years now, and it hasn't led to anything. But still, like Syndergaard has not had a good start to the season, and like you can't, that turns into our what can you blame on coaches? Like I'm not blaming that on Mickey Callaway. Like that's on Noah. So I don't know. I know the running stuff out is bad, but also normally that just gets looked on as the player. Cano already has kind of a little bit of a rap for that. I don't know, man. The part that's bizarre is just the media. The media is saying straight up, like, are you firing him today or tomorrow? It's like, whoa. I'm almost wondering if like Callaway has more so just straight up lost the media. Because, I think if he was well-liked by the media, I don't think they'd be doing this stuff.
Yeah, well, I don't know, though. That's kind of the game they play in New York. I'm trying to figure it out now, Jake. They've won 1 series in their last, I think, 15 series. Wait, have they not won a series this season? Okay, so they won a series versus the Marlins. Then they lost a series to the Nationals. Split a series with the Twins, so it's not a win. Okay, so then they won a series versus Atlanta. But so that was in April 12th. Since April 12th, I think they've won 1 series, and it was a 2-game set versus the Marlins. So it's not just this 3 games. That's bad. Lost to the Phillies, lost to the Cardinals, beat the Phillies, so there's one. Lost to the Bucks, lost to Cincinnati, or split with Cincinnati, lost to Milwaukee, lost to the Padres, lost to the Nationals. Yeah, they've been bad.
Pirates, the Bucks?
What?
Do you call the Pirates the Bucks?
Well, here's the thing. I did, but I had the wrong Pennsylvania team.
Okay.
So I thought it was Pirates, and I called them the Bucks knowingly.
Right.
They get called that.
Yeah, no. I was. It's like cool that you called them that. I've never heard you say that. I didn't think you'd do that.
But it was actually the Phillies. So you pointing out my cool thing actually.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry because I was pointing out because it was cool. I was like, nice, man. Calling the Pirates the Buccos. It's nice. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. For me, it just turns into perception. And I mean, it's still mid-May. We're sneaking up on June 1. But I don't know. It's you're the Mets. What were your real expectations? We wanted them to compete and be a little better than this. I mean, how far off from 500 are they? Are they like 2 good series away from 500 or no?
They are 20 and 25. So the 2 sweeps away.
So not really. Yeah, they're like I mean, they're still a good week away from being close to 500, which again, I mean, if you're the Mets, that has to be somewhat realistic that you guys could land in that 500 area.
But has Mickey Callaway done good?
No.
But I mean, even last year, what are the arguments for keeping him? Besides, it's a bad look to fire your manager midseason. What else?
Well, that's the thing. It's not even mid-season. It's like a quarter of a season. Yeah,
but I mean, you got to factor in last year as well.
Right. And I mean, I think that's kind of the overlaying thing here is that Brody Van GM comes, and you see it more with football teams because there's a lot more, I mean, strategy and play calling and what your team looks like. That depends with the coach and the system and all that. For baseball, you still want your guy, Brody Van GM. Part of the extension of how he gets measured is how good his manager and his team is. So this isn't his manager he's picked, so he's going to want to bring in his guy at some point. So that makes you wonder, is Brody Van GM pumping some of this through the media? I mean, not necessarily because the Mets have been bad. I'm not saying that, but I don't know. It's not Brody's guy, so I think unless the Mets were playing really good, it could turn out that this was going to be a sword for Mickey Callaway to fall on either way.
Yeah. I wish I was more tuned into this. I haven't been tuning into what people are saying or Twitter saying. Should ask our Mets friends more. But if Mickey Callaway's if Brody is confident with the talent he has on the field, right?
Yeah.
And I think he said that. We have the pieces to win. We have the hitters. Then what's the problem? It's motivation. So he could just think it's just a little slide, but there's a part where it comes into play where he keeps Mickey around because that's a shield from him. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's I think that's absolutely right, and I think it's the what's the phrasing I'm looking for? But yeah, Brody Van GM can kind of get his feet wet this year and get a couple bodies in that he likes, and then at the end of the year he said, we got a new manager now, and I'm a year in on the job, and let's do this. So you're right, he can. I mean, I talked about how insane the media is asking questions like literally, when are you going to fire this dude? And hey, when you have Mickey Callaway there, they're going to ask those questions about Mickey Callaway and not about Brody Van GM.
Yeah. So say they get swept again, Jake, Is he out?
Yeah. Because I mean, if they get swept again, they're what? They're 20-28. And the media is just too loud. Like this is where like media becomes a serious factor, and obviously New York as a part of it. But the media already is too loud.
Yeah, we're good. We're very friendly with Brian Hoke, who's a beat reporter for MLB for the Yankees. And I haven't told you this, but next time we chat with him, one of my questions is when you hear all these rumors like New York media is hot or New York media is intense, you're not going to be able to handle the New York media. He's a part of the New York media. Like, does he think that's a warranted thing? Is it a badge of pride? Is it embarrassing? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, what does the New York media think about their reputation? I think some guys definitely like double down on it, like, yeah, blah blah, we're dicks. But Brian's a pretty level-headed, like, nice guy. So I wonder what his thoughts are on like this whole concept, which is correct that New York media is more brutal, or Northeast media.
There's definitely this middle area that, like, you're right. There's definitely people that lean in and are like, I'm New York media. I'm gonna ask, when are you firing Mickey Callaway?
Yeah.
And then I think there's other, and I part of the reason probably why Brian Hoke's so respected is that you can do that in other ways while still being intense and asking a real question. Like I'm trying to think of a way to phrase it, and I have a bad brain, but like you could ask Brody Van GM, like, hey, you know, you didn't hire Mickey Callaway. The Mets are struggling this season. Is there a need to get your own guy in there? And I think there's definitely some lines around there. But yeah, we should ask the Hokester.
Yeah. So they have a 4-game set coming up with Nationals, who aren't playing great themselves. They haven't won 2 games. They've only won 2 games in a row once in the month of May. So they haven't put together any winning streak. Wow, look at this, Jake. The Nationals, this is perfect. The Nationals also have not won 3 games in a row this season.
Nice.
So if they win 3 in a row versus the Mets, that's Fire City.
Yeah.
You got to revamp everything.
Fire City.
I'm rooting for mayhem.
Like that about you.
Like I want the Nationals to win the first game, nice solid win. Nationals win the second game, blow the Mets out, and everyone's like, if they win 3 in a row, it's donezo for Mickey Callaway. So then that third game, Jake, I want it to go extra, 16 innings. Mets take the lead 3 times. Nationals come back. Mets show a lot of spunk, a lot of heart, but they end up losing. Nationals win, and it's like a walk-off wild pitch, and that seals the fate. Like, okay, there's the third loss. Doesn't matter how it happened. Mickey's gone.
Whoa. That was better writing than Thrones this season. Yeah, I'll watch that with you, I guess.
All right. You got anything on Arch Manning?
Dude, saw the highlights and had just one of those weird moments you don't feel in life until you get older. You know, seeing another generation of Mannings, like, holy shit. You know, it's what our dads felt when they saw Peyton and Eli, because they watched Archie Manning. So yeah, man, it's also cool because I think one of the underrated things about sports are just mannerisms, and the kid moves like a Manning brother because that's how Mannings move. It's Vlad Guerrero Jr. having a similar swing as his dad, not as violent, a little more beef on Vladdy Jr. But yeah, I mean it's bizarre. It's it's one of the Manning kids playing football. Yep.
Yeah. Well, for anyone that doesn't know, it's Cooper. It's Cooper Manning's son, Arch Manning.
The wealthiest Manning, right?
Yeah, I think so. He's like, yeah. He was going to be a top wide receiver prospect, but had some growth stunted in his arm or something like that.
Yeah. Now he's an oil guy, I think, right?
Yeah, there's that article that
Or
came out.
energy.
There's an article where he was like, people think Payton's so smart. Payton thinks investing in Papa John's is good business. He's an idiot. Whoa!
Whoa, easy.
Calm down, Coop. Calm down.
Sick talking about your brothers yet, or what?
Yeah. Don't diss quarterbacks so much when that's your son's dream.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say. What's next, Jake? You want to do anything else? Taco Fall to the Knicks. Give me a 5-word review on Taco Fall to the Knicks.
Tall guy. Teams will try.
Oh, a poem. It's a little haiku.
Poem.
Actually.
Happened to be a poem.
If they draft him like 50, like second round pick, do you care?
No. I mean, it's something you excite yourself about because it's a tall guy that if you can line him up the right way, it's every coach's dream. I think I did this a while back when we were talking about the tournament. It's literally there's not a coach that sees a guy like that and thinks like, I can't use this guy. They're like, no, if you give me the tools, I can do everything. I'm a good coach. So yeah, give me that monster, man. I don't know.
bet my house Taco Fall isn't a good NBA player.
No, he can't move.
I bet my house he's not in the league for 2 years.
Don't do that because again, what I just said about coaches.
Okay,
I mean, Taco Fall will end up on like 7 teams because there will be another coach every time that's like
playing time.
I can use that guy.
Like he's not getting playing time in the NBA.
I don't think so. But that it doesn't seem like the league is going the way of Taco Fall. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, he's too tall. He's a nice kid. We're rooting for him.
I'm kind of not now that I put my house on the line.
Oh no, Jimmy.
That's my house or Taco Fall. So
yeah, that's true. That's fair.
That's fair. All right, let's move on.
Brooks Koepka wins the PGA tournament. Everyone's favorite bro almost had a melt job to remember. Got down to 1-shot lead at one point. Jimmy, your Sharks, buddy. Got the old whooping on from the St. Louis Blues. Now the Sharks have the Blues. Jim, you'll actually like this, which I think comes out of left field. The Timberwolves signed Ryan Saunders to be their next head coach, 33. He's the son of Flip Saunders, who used to be the head coach of the team. So that's kind of cool. Toronto wins in double overtime. Milwaukee is still up 2-1 in that series. We had a foul call to foul Giannis out late. Golden State's up 3-0. Who could have seen this coming? Us. And Joe Madden with a fake protest, in a Cubbies game.
Good stuff, Jake.
Thanks, Jim.
Someone said there was Packers news, but I didn't. I tried to Google it, and they said there was. I couldn't find anything. So anyway, so I don't know what it was. Chad, let me know what the Packers news is if you're still in the chat.
I think you got.
Well,
I think Chad just wanted his Packers shout out.
All right. Brooks Koepka wins the PGA. Almost blew up, like just was using like big clubs and overshooting and then missed an easy putt. That was cool. But he ends up winning. Good for him.
Yeah, he we've done a lot of reporter talk so far. One of the reporters asked him, which is a brutal question. They asked him, like, is there any doubt on Saturday night? They asked him, is there any doubt that you're going to win this tournament? And like, you can't say no, because that makes you sound soft as hell. And I think even if you give like a generic plain Jane answer, like, well, you know, I've got a big lead, but there's a lot of good golfers behind me. Like, that's still kind of soft. So he went with it and he said, like, yeah, no doubt. So then it started to get tight. He was missing a lot of shots. Luckily, you saw how nasty that course is because the winds picked up and guys were just spraying balls. They looked like your regular Sunday golfers out there just knocking it all over the yard. But man, pressure golf is a lot different than just regular golf. And he ends up walking away with some like ridiculous achievements because he had that giant. He had the giant lead, which people were saying all this good stuff, and they were talking about him setting records, and then he ends up walking away, and it's like the only guy to win a major who had 4 straight bogeys in his final round. It's like, well, that's pretty backhanded there. But yeah, I don't know. Guys were spraying it all over. That's got to be an awful feeling. The fact he could still recover and do it is good because it would have been an all-time melt.
Yeah. Sharks are melting down. Ice is melting. Blues winning game 5. They're up 3-2 now on the series. Bad game for the Sharks. Blues just took it to them. You know what we said? If they either come out from that hand pass and they're angry or they're beaten, they've been angry ever since. Like they came out like gates out of hell. Game 4. Game 5, they stayed with it. So we'll see how it goes. But Sharks have been in a worse place this postseason already, down 3-1.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you win tomorrow, you force game 7, and then all hands are up in the air. So who cares?
What can happen in a game 7, Jim?
One team will win.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they say anything can happen, but not anything.
You see my hands right now?
Yeah, you kind of I don't know what happened there.
I kind of got caught in this weird, look at this.
Got
weird hand position.
Caught in a moment. I think that's bad news for your Sharks.
This is brutal. I feel trapped.
You've been confident and pure about your Sharks, and then you land in that.
That was crazy. I just got caught like an idiot with my hands just all limped.
It looked like you had like arm paralysis for a little bit there.
I looked like how Bran from Game of Thrones would talk.
Yeah.
Just a complete weirdo.
That's a tough look. Sharks are done.
Yeah, that was weird. All right.
That was a tough break. Yeah, they used up their ref money a little too early in this one.
Ryan Saunders, dude, this guy's 33 years old and he's supposed to be taken seriously by society. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Because I'm 30 and I can't imagine anyone. Can't imagine, like, I don't know. That's just nuts.
It's I think it's cool. Look, he's got the family thing going. Like Flip Saunders is like the most respected man in Minnesota, arguably.
Such a cooler name than Ryan. Flip.
Yeah, maybe he'll get a nickname like Flap, Flip and Flap Saunders.
Well, if he's bad, they will definitely call him Flop Saunders.
Flop Saunders, that sucks.
Yeah, that's a headline.
Gotta watch out for that. Can't become Flop. Maybe that'll be his motivation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Good family stuff ties into sports and not just like bad ownership groups. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we're fans of nepotism. Warranted nepotism.
Yeah, and I guess he was the interim coach for the end of this season, and the guys liked him, so they rolled with it. So yeah, congrats, Ryan.
Congrats. Warriors are up 3-0. Did you scroll down on the sheet here, Jake? Did you see KD getting into it on Instagram again?
I did not.
It's real weird. It's really weird. KD sucks. So the Warriors are up 3-0. So the Warriors posted, like, the Warriors win. They're up 3-0. And this guy commented on it. Doubt us without KD. Doubt Curry, Clay, and Dre. And keep thinking Milwaukee's better. Y'all doubters and haters will see. I don't see that as a negative KD comment at all. He's just at all. He's just telling people, like, you thought we couldn't win without KD. We can. Your doubters are wrong. KD responded to it. Very divisive, Mikey. Let's celebrate this win as Dub Nation. Fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I think the only ones being divisive here is KD. The dude was just saying he was telling like he was saying good things about your teammates. Like they doubted that they could win without you. They did. Wasn't any shot at KD there.
I've said it before. I've said it again. The guy, he spent his life playing basketball, not being social, not hanging out. He spent his life playing basketball to get where he is today, to become one of the best basketball players ever. The guy's socially awkward, and he's this weird millennial hybrid that, like, again, think about that, Jim. Like, you almost get it. Like, if someone was posting something that's like, yo, Kevin Durant's fucking terrible, this guy's awful, like, I think everyone feels a little bit of that in them where they want to say, like, nah, dude, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
And like if you're doing that, that's fine. But you're right, like, why even get involved here?
The dude wasn't saying anything negative about you. He was just calling out the people that
he's calling out the doubters.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. He'll do well in New York though.
Yeah, right. Yo, he's gonna crumble. We just talked about the New York media. It's gonna be such a mess.
Excited.
You think he's coming to New York? A lot of people do, right?
Yeah.
It's that. I mean, you know, it's gonna be so bad.
Yeah, it will be bad. I mean, Jim, the thing. I mean, Kevin Durant is so good, and the ineptitude of the Knicks has been so bad that even if the Knicks are just like good, like that is going to be a breath of fresh air. So he's going to get a pass on a lot of it. There's going to be some bad ones, but I mean, if he can play good basketball, this is what Knicks fans. He's going to be the best player in Knicks history.
I don't care. I think that it's going to be such a nightmare. I think like 2 months in, there's going to be some sort of incident with the media that, I mean, we're seeing it with Cano. I tweeted, Cano's been doing this shit in Seattle for 5 years.
Right.
We haven't heard peep. His name was trending nationally on Twitter because he did it in one game on the Mets.
Yeah.
And for 5 years, we didn't hear a thing. That's KD's out there in the West Coast. No one cares right now. And it's still, we still hear some things. That's what I'm saying. We still hear some things. So
yeah, but it's also
that.
Golden State in the NBA is also different than Seattle in the MLB.
Sure, they get a lot of attention, but not the scrutiny that he will get by his own. Like he's still protected by his own. That's not the issue. Isn't what everyone else thinks. The issue is what happens inside your building. He's somewhat protected.
And I guess that's what I was saying. He's going to be literally the best player in New York's Knicks history. New Yorkers will protect him as long as he gets buckets in the Garden.
Yeah, but one bad play and then that room, I think it's going to be hilariously awful. Off the court. Then this Joe Madden protest happened, which I made a video about. They took away their protest. So try to see if this is even interesting. Basically, the Cubs had a pitcher, Carl Edwards, who planted his foot on the ground, like his whole foot, and stopped his motion with his foot on the ground after starting it, which according to the rule is illegal. The rule says you cannot step with your foot, middle of your motion. Madden was told that he's not allowed to touch the ground. That's what Madden says. I was told he's just not allowed to touch the ground. And that's only according to Joe Madden. So I think he was told something wrong or he heard something wrong because that's not what the rule says. The rule doesn't say you're not allowed to touch the ground. The rule says you're not allowed to step.
Right.
And what Carl Edwards is doing, is it a step? Not really, but I can see why it's closer to a step because he fully stopped.
Didn't your buddy Doolittle do it?
That's the whole thing. But Doolittle just touched his foot to the ground, like just toe tapped.
Right. You're getting into the definition of what a step is. Talk about
that's exactly
good
what
baseball content.
Doolittle didn't completely come to a stop in his motion. which Carl
Right.
Edwards does. They're way different. But Madden just wants to be the smartest guy all the time, and he files under a protest, and in the end, he's wrong, and he takes the protest away. And I think,
Yeah, they didn't even file it.
he took it away once it got cleared up that the rule is not you can't touch the ground. The rule is you can't take a step. Like, it's a shady rule. You need to clarify what they mean by that. But Doolittle posted, Doolittle had a thread on it, which is actually pretty funny. And he was basically saying the rule was put in play to stop guys like Carter Capps who were jumping forward and basically crow hopping into a pitch. The rule was not made to stop toe taps. And he said even what Carl Edwards does should be allowed. So he did this whole thread, Jake. And he ends it with so much of pitching is disrupting timing. And as long as the strike zone is the size of a cocktail napkin and the ball is flying out of ballparks at a historic rate, I think pitchers should be able to have a toe tap or hesitation in their delivery if they want, but I'm biased. Then he followed that up with the quote tweet from Drill that said, and another thing, I'm not mad. Please don't put it in the newspaper that I got mad. Which is good.
A lot of characters in the sports world.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. He did it's a thread and just starts. So I think Joe Madden looks like who Joe Madden is. Very smart guy that wants to let you know he's smart.
Boom.
Like, if you were friends with Joe Madden, if he was in your friend group,
right,
he would be the guy no one likes.
I think some of it's an act. I think a lot of it's an act.
He's a well-actually guy. That's who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they took the protest away. And Doolittle's my best friend. So there you go.
So that now the truth comes out.
I put a lot of hard work into
Got
that.
a best friend defender here.
The breakdown I did, I came away with it and I was like, that was a good one. That was most of my most solid work. Side by sides, I put the rules on there. I put the definition of step on there.
Step.
Did a lot of work. All right, are we good? You want anything more?
I think so.
Ooh, halftime. John Hallwood just came into the chat. He goes, 4 in a row. What is this?
Good question.
Let's go Yankees. Good follow-up.
Yep.
Is this live? Yes.
Yep.
What about the Blues? You just missed the Blues, John. Sorry.
Sorry about it. Are we doing Thrones halftime?
Do you have things to say? I didn't watch, so I just
You didn't watch? Oh, then no, we can't talk about it.
Well, I know everything that happened.
Can't talk about it.
Why?
Talk about it with Joe's later.
Come on. Tell me your thoughts. I want to know your thoughts.
Got no thoughts. Thoughtless.
Wait, I don't understand why
Don't even have a thought.
All right. Tell me what you think about the ending.
Never had a thought. The ending was okay. It was just all how they got there. I mean, everything linked up to the past 6 episodes that weren't enough. And I mean, it's all out now. It was clearly they tried to do too much in a tight time frame, and they twisted how they could have. Where they ended up being pretty solid, but they just needed another season / they needed to operate episodes more usefully to get there. So I don't know. They'll remake it in like 5-10 years, and they'll have a better ending. But
I was I was watching my girl Miranda Ellis dominate on the mound during this, but I was seeing some tweets. Brand the Broken is an awesome name.
Yeah.
And the Six Pack Cinema guys just put a Brand the Broken shirt on our store, so go check that out.
Nice.
But
yeah, you got commented. That was one of your first Twitter posts that got commented in a while.
I don't know what commented means.
Like you posted, has anyone said a good thing about Thrones? And you got almost more comments than likes.
Oh, ratioed. Yeah, but I was asking a question. That was a genuine question.
Right. Why didn't you watch last night?
I had zero interest in it. I told you that.
Okay.
We did this last week. I said I'll follow it along the same way I do the draft and lottery. Like, I'll find out what happens, but I'm not going to dedicate an hour and a half to doing just that.
All right.
Brand the Broken's an awesome name. And there was something else I read that Jon Snow, the Jon Snow being Aegon Targaryen, was like the coolest secret, or like, is it real? Is this just a theory? Is this real? Like in the history of television, and for it to not amount to like that much in the end.
Yeah, they had. I mean, there's 3 or 4 big things that just didn't add up because they didn't have time to add it up. I literally think it's all tied to those nerds wanting to go get the Star Wars thing. So they found this quick, 6-ep wrap up, and they went for it. But yeah, man, where they ended up landing wasn't that bad, but they needed to do better. They needed to do better with the White Walkers. They needed to do better with Bran. If Bran could have been doing some subtle things along the way instead of just being full idiot for as long as he was and then getting the throne, they could have done some really cool stuff there. So yeah, I mean, I just think within the time frame they had some misses. I think they still kind of had a decent enough story. They just didn't have the time to do well enough with it, and they like you mentioned, the Super Bowl pregame episode that they did. You look back and you're like, well, maybe we could have checked a box this episode instead of doing a pregame show.
Yeah.
So they'll remake it in a couple years. You'll come back. You like it.
I don't think they're ever going to remake it, but unless it's like an animated series or something. But that's
I think it's going to be the first show that they remake. I think that's how much. And it ties into Twitter and how much stuff is out there on the internet now that I think people.
I mean, like, not the first show. I mean, a lot of shows have been remade.
No. Like they're going to actually redo the ending. Like they're going to call like a timeout so they've got 5 prequels coming out, 5 different prequels. So that's probably going to take a decade or so. And then by the time that's done, people will be so jazzed up and still mad about how it ended that they're going to do like a Game of Thrones alternate ending.
That'd be interesting, but I don't think it'll happen, but we'll see. Now it's all Chernobyl. Got to watch Chernobyl.
Yeah, I think that's going to be because that's what, a 5-part miniseries or something?
Yeah, I actually haven't watched. I have to watch.
Yeah, that's just going to be a binge day for me at one point. I'm not
I feel like
that's live.
I feel like it's a sad binge day.
Have a lot of those, babe.
Anything else? Dude, so that girl Miranda Ellis that I was watching pitch for Texas, she was on Oklahoma last year. Oh, she was on Oklahoma last year. Her coach got a job at Texas. She transferred with him. She threw a perfect game in the tournament last year for Oregon. She was on Oregon last year, Texas this year. Anyway, Jake, so the first round of regionals is 4 teams bracket, right? So in 2 days, she pitched 4 games.
Yeah.
Softball's kind of crazy. And then, did you see the umps lost track of the count breakdown I did?
I didn't see that one, I don't think. I see it now.
It's got like 50K on YouTube now or something because this ump went brainless. You'd like it. So he goes like this, Jake. He goes, strike. The count was 0-1 on a swing. Calls the next pitch a strike. Strike. 1-1. And everyone kind of laughs. It's like, it's 0-2, man. And the one umpire comes up to him and is like, it's 0-2. And he's like, really? Okay. He's like, yeah, you called it a strike. The coach is like, wait, I thought you just said 1-1. It's like, I did. He runs back to the ump. He's like, why is it 0-2 again? He's like, because you called it a strike, man.
Strike.
Field ump runs in, and she goes, actually, it is 1-1. He's like, okay, oh shit, let's all huddle up. What did I call this pitch? And the field ump, who must be the crew chief, goes, you called it a ball. I have it as a ball. I think you called it a ball, which means it counts 1-1. There's replay. There's like cameras. So they go back and they're like, it's 1-1. And the one ump who knew it was 0-2 just kind of starts slinking to the back like Homer into the bush.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is ugly. And the Houston coach, who ended up being the losing coach, just didn't play that much into it. Just stops arguing. She's like, I can't argue with the brainless person.
Right.
She opens her mouth to say like, and then just goes and walks away. I've never seen an umpire just go so brainless to call the pitch a strike and then 5 seconds later say it was a ball. Crazy. That was pretty fun. So anyway, all right, let's go on to the news.
I read the news today, oh boy, and though the news was rather sad, I just had to laugh.
Well, it's 6 o'clock. Time for the news.
Hostess is now selling Ding Dong and Twinkie flavored coffees. Just what everyone's been dying for. Thanks to autopilot, a cop stopped a Tesla whose driver was sleeping and drunk at the time. Ohio man threatens to kill Pizza Hut manager over a pepperoni disagreement. Interested to see what that was. Thief stole a popcorn machine. That's the whole headline. A very low-speed tractor trailer chase ended with an arrest in Rancho Cordova. A loyal Kroger shoppers held a vigil outside the closed Kroger in Dearborn. And a guy who blew $4,000 lowering his car is demanding his town now pay for the damages since he can't drive over the speed bumps.
I read the news today, oh boy, and
Some good stories today.
Oh yeah, the weekend fills it up, man.
So Hostess doing Ding Dong and Twinkie flavored coffees, probably a smart business move. I'm not going to buy it. I have no interest. Do you have any interest in trying those flavors?
Well, I think you said a lot of different words there, Jim. I think not all those words line up. If one of these is presented in front of you, you're gonna try it.
Someone else would have to like buy it. Oh, they're Keurig. So I would have to be somewhere that they have a Keurig in that, and then yes, I try.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, if that's interested in trying it, going out of my way to either get a cake. Did you think these were coffee flavored Twinkies?
No.
Oh, that was my hope at first. Because again, it was just going to be the same thing. It was going to be like, no, I'm obviously not going to go out of my way to try this. But if it's in front of me, I'd say, yeah, sure. What do you got?
The honey bun one is probably pretty tasty. But I don't like flavored coffee, so this doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, so this is not your realm. Good for them. Expand. We're talking about it. Media story.
Yeah. I like to think this driver who appeared to be drunk and asleep in his autopilot got pulled over and was like, "Oh, what's the problem? There's one reason I bought this car, and it's to get me home from the bar when I'm drunk and tired."
Yeah.
So you're saying I can't sleep while the car drives me home? Pilot.
Why would I have this car?
Yeah, why would I have bought this car then? What a waste of a purchase. Pilots sleep while the plane's going through the sky. We'll get to the point where you can sleep in your car.
It's my old man dream. It's a living room on wheels, but yeah, I'm not sure. We need a while to A, get the public ready for that kind of thing, and B, I still don't think Teslas are supposed to be used for that. I think they do say when you get the Tesla, you got to be awake while it's driving, which is horse shit. But
I will say this, Jake, if he was driving, like, he didn't crash into anyone, didn't seem like he ran any lights. Like, it sounds like the car was doing a bang up job. The cop just looked inside.
Right, you could say that about a drunk driver, though, too.
Oh, yeah, you can. Well, this guy was drunk.
Yes.
This happened in Denmark?
I think this is in the Netherlands, yeah, and there's a correction on the bottom saying that they didn't take his intoxication level and they messed it up the first time. So, or no, they updated it within the post. So, yeah, ArsTechnica.com. Haven't been to this website yet, but now I have.
Yeah. All right. This Ohio man threatened to kill the Pizza Hut manager over a pepperoni debate. Before we click this story, I haven't read any of it. Do you think, whose side do you think you're going to be on? And what do you think the debate is going to be about?
Ohio man threatens to kill Pizza Hut manager over pepperoni. You got to lean you're going to be on the Pizza Hut manager side.
I think I'm going to be, man,
You said you had to pick. I know it's a tough one.
I think I'm going to be on the customer side. Do you think this is he wanted extra pepperoni? They didn't put enough pepperoni. He likes the big pepperonis. They got the small pepperonis.
Jimmy, this is your old biz, man. I'm surprised you're turning on him. You used to be the guy on the other side of the counter getting threatened to be killed for pepperoni.
I'm thinking he's saying he wanted no pepperonis, and they put pepperonis on his pizza, and then yeah.
Oh, see, I'm assuming it's going. Yeah, it would shock me if a manager of a Pizza Hut refused to give someone pepperoni. I'm thinking this guy was either asking for massive amounts of pepperoni, or I don't know. Let's get in there.
Okay, so he wanted pepperoni on his pizza. Customer called complaining about the lack of pepperoni. So it's the opposite of what I said. He called to complain about the lack of pepperoni. Then the 31-year-old man came to the restaurant to escalate his complaint. Wow. He drove in and argued with the manager, then stated he would come around the counter and kill the manager, but he didn't want to be charged with robbery.
Yeah, Jimmy, so this is unfortunately where there's no more defense, because how can you threaten to kill someone and then say you don't want to be charged with robbery?
Well, he's robbing his life.
No, well, that's not how that. Well, yeah. I haven't been in the court of law for that, so I don't know.
The customer then left the store, went to the rear of his car, and appeared to take something out of the auto. Out of the auto? Who the fuck wrote this article?
Yeah.
Next, the customer walked to the store's doorway and stood there for about 10 seconds, holding an object in his pocket that appeared to be a gun. Shut up. The way that article's written makes me not believe that part of the story. Well, that's just me.
They said they went over and arrested him afterwards.
Yeah, I don't think you can threaten someone's life.
So you don't think there was a gun?
I think there maybe was a gun, but that sentence was written so stupidly. He took something. He appeared to take something out of his auto, then stood there for 10 seconds. Who was counting 10 seconds? That's such an arbitrary small amount of time. And then he walked away.
10 seconds is a long time if someone's got a gun in their pocket, or you think they do.
There's too many appeared. There's too many appeared to be's in that sentence.
Okay.
He appeared to take something out of his auto, and then he appeared to have a gun in his pocket.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So get out of here. I'm interested in the very low-speed tractor-trailer chase.
I know you are.
Nothing better than a low-speed chase.
It's in San Fran, I think, Jim. Rancho Cordova.
I don't know where that is. I would guess that's Southern California.
Well, the link is the SF gate. So that was my hint. But this is such a hot story, they could have just picked it up.
Yeah. Low-speed chase. So he was on a tractor-trailer. Oh, it's Sacramento County, so it is Northern California.
Nice.
A call came in around 9:20 p.m. about a man erratically driving a tractor-trailer on Sunrise Boulevard. When deputies tried to contact the man, he refused to pull over and kept driving, prompting the slow-speed chase. I guess it's really like they were just following him, is what you would say. About 20 minutes later, the man pulled over in the area of Citrus Road and Sunrise Boulevard, traveling barely a mile. I mean, that's kind of cool. Took the cops on a low-speed chase. It's like a big yellow digger tractor trailer.
I think I'm not calling full bullspit. I mean, you're a guy that lived in the Bay. I went out there a few times to visit, whether work or pleasure. Never heard of Rancho Cordova. I think it's Rancho Cordova marketing. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some new real estate in Rancho Cordova, and they were like, hey, let's get something in this SF papers for people that are trying to leave the Bay.
Okay.
That's some real guerrilla marketing.
It's outside of Sacramento, so it's by Folsom, which is where Creedence Clearwater is basically from, which is kind of like it's very farmer, that area of California.
New residential buildings, I guarantee it.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
My thing is the cops could have easily just pulled ahead of the tractor trailer and made him stop. But
that's the problem with any low speed chase.
Yeah, the problem is they just wanted to follow this dude. Let's see how long this goes on for. Like that's how bored the cops were in Rancho Cordova.
Yeah.
They could have easily made this not a chase and just went around him and blocked him, but they wanted to slowly follow him because they want to have their fun too. I don't blame them. Just saying it's tough to call it a low speed chase.
He refused to pull it over, man.
Yeah. I was trying to look up Rancho Cordova, see if there's any new buildings, but see if your theory holds up. It doesn't look like.
Oh, there's guaranteed a couple new, like those new home areas. What do you call those? Developments. Rested development.
Okay. It looks like Aerojet put in an 800,000 square foot something to go on the market. I got blocked from reading.
I mean, we've got the Colonial Estates out there, Leonard at the Highland Grove, Kensington Estates. It's working, people. They got us again.
Yeah. They got to put in a new Kroger. Kroger's going out of business. And in Dearborn, Michigan, they held a vigil for the Kroger that got closed down. I thought this was going to be a picture of a bunch of hipsters in a parking lot, like just joking and holding a vigil. No. It's like there's a ton of people here, Jake. Like over.
No, this
is like there's like a band playing.
This is beautiful. Why people from the Midwest are beautiful people. They are seriously saddened and mourning the loss of their town Kroger. It was a gathering spot for many years where you'd see your local neighbors and friends, and now it is no longer with us.
Man, this is crazy because there's definitely some like teenagers and young people there taking videos and laughing about the whole thing.
Right.
Doing it ironically. And then there's some old people. Like there's a lady here that sounds like she's crying into a megaphone talking about, then there's a pretty news anchor talking now. There's hugging in the background. Yeah, they're very upset.
This is a local landmark, Jim. You got to think about it like that. I feel like I've heard the name Dearborn before, so it makes me think it's not like this Kroger was the only thing in town.
Didn't you lose your virginity to a Dearborn?
A newborn deer.
That's
the common well, it was a misconception, but yeah, I mean, I think everyone should be a little saddened today. I mean, this got covered on the news, Jim.
Oh yeah, but like, what do they think is going to happen? Another grocery store is just going to come in. If everyone loved the Kroger so much, it wouldn't have gone out of business. Is my only thing I'd say.
It's just these big cities holding down the little towns, man. I can't.
I remember when Jewel Osco went out of business in my Illinois town. It bothered me because that was the only place I could get Yoo-hoo from.
See?
It's not popular outside of the East Coast. And then we have the next idiot news segment. Oh, shit, Jake. We're running really long, huh?
Looks like it.
I did not realize this was going so long. Anyway, this guy spent $4,000 to lower his car.
I might not have been recording. Oh, car got full at some point, so there's that.
Okay, well, let's move on.
Mondays.
We just kept going and going. We're at an hour 13, and we haven't done Bet of the Day. I had no idea.
Day. You got to get it then.
Here we go.
Bet of the day. It's the bet of the day. Bet of the day. Bet of the day.
Bet of the day, bet of the day. Jakey made another mistakey last Friday. He went 0-5 on the week after being 9 for his 10. He goes 0 for 5. A brutal week. Hopefully he can put that one in his rear view. Move on, looking better. but things are glum. 0-5. I unfortunately agreed with him on Friday, which I said was a dumb move, and it turned out to be a dumb move. The saddest news of all is he is now 20-22 in his basketball bets.
These are the biggest smiles I've seen you had on Jomboy Jake Radio,
No,
which is really disturbing.
I'm not smiling.
Which is really disturbing.
I'm not smiling. I'm not smiling.
You had some big smiles. You're still smiling.
No. Remember my hands got stuck earlier?
The biggest of smiles.
My mouth just got stuck. I'm trying to do the math, Jake. How many basketball games potentially are left? One in the Golden State series. What's the Milwaukee series at?
It's 2-1. There's games there. There's finals. There's plenty of games, Jim. You don't have to start doing turkey math like that.
You need at least
especially when we get back to 500 tonight with free money, Jim.
You can't get back to 500 tonight.
I thought I was at 500 and then just went down 1.
No, that's what I just told you. You're
Who's cooking the books here?
You're at 20-22 in the NBA.
Oh my God! Now we're. This is going to be one of those we're going to go back and count them up again, and then Jake's 3 games over 500, which is fine. I'll accept that at the time, Jimmy. For now,
hold on.
Jake Golden State minus 3.5. It's free money. Hour 15.
Okay, Warriors, Rockets.
Nope.
Warriors, Portland Blazers, and Warriors are favored by 3.
3-0. Golden State's favored by 3.5. It's in Portland. So do you think Portland has any fight, or do you think they don't? And I know you know the answer.
They don't. You were above 500. I'm going to try and do this right. You were above 500 to end last week.
Right.
You lost to go back to 500. And then you lost 2 more. You lost 3 NBA in a row last week. So, yeah, you're 2 below 500.
Woo.
But you're going to be 1 away after today because that's
free money.
Jake is stupid, but he's smart.
I heard you were giving out free money.
the Warriors. I mean,
it's the Warriors. It's the storyline. It's going to be the Warriors swept the finals without Durant. Portland knows they're not going to win this series. Lillard says he's hurt. It's over.
good for Portland if they come out and put up a fight to try and win this game, but also wasted energy.
Yeah, and
Their wives are going to be so mad at them. Just get it over with. Go on vacation.
Here's a good sports talk to end it. Every special team in history has something about them that makes them even more special, and that's why they're special. This Golden State team, Steph, Clay, and Draymond are playing nutso, just to remind everyone that, like, they were the ones.
Yeah. It's our shit.
So, yeah. Sweep is happening.
All right. Cool. That ends this episode of Jomboy and Jake Radio. Sorry that we went so long, but thanks for hanging out and listening to the full thing. Aloe Block taking us out. And we will be back tomorrow. See ya.